The chilled winds of Karanos brushed against Mosiwa's face as she stepped out of the small inn where she had spent the night. After helping the folks in Coldridge Valley and learning of the collapsed tunnel, she had found her way here through the ingenuity of the Morogh flyers. Nestled amidst the snow-covered mountains, the dwarven settlement was a bustling yet cozy haven. Her journey to Ironforge had been delayed, but she felt no rush. The dwarves here were welcoming, and she had planned to take the flight to Ironforge at first light. As the day broke, the settlement stirred with life. Mosiwa's plans to depart shifted when she noticed a small group of dwarves gathered around a large map spread over a snow-dusted table near the flight point. Their hushed but intense discussion piqued her curiosity. What could have the dwarves so concerned this early in the day? Mosiwa's curiosity grew with every step.
Excuse me, what are you all discussing so seriously? Is there something I can help with?
You must be Mosiwa. I've heard of your deeds in Coldridge Valley. The cataclysm has thrown the balance of power in Dun Morogh into question. Without warning, a wave of trogs emerged from the caves near Morogh and overran the Frostmane trolls. The trolls have been migrating east ever since.
That sounds troubling. What can I do to help?
There has always been a Frostmane presence up on Shimmer Ridge to the northwest, but with the migration, the trolls now surround us. We can't allow the trolls to use this position to their advantage. While my men hold the line in the east, I need you to strike against Shimmer Ridge.
Consider it done, Captain. I'll head there right away.
Good. And watch yourself up there, those trolls are cunning. May the light guide you, Mosiwa.
Mosiwa started running north, her breath forming small clouds in the chilly air. The road split into a fork right outside of Karanos. She paused, checking her map where Tharran had marked the location. After a moment, she took the left path, her eyes scanning the surroundings. The valley was completely white, a blanket of snow covering everything in sight. Wolves and boars roamed the area, their dark forms contrasting sharply against the snow. Mosiwa moved carefully, avoiding them to prevent any unnecessary harm. She had no desire for a fight unless it was necessary. Shortly after, Mosiwa noticed a torch stuck in the snow. Its base surrounded by scattered human skulls. A chill ran down her spine, her heart skipping a beat at the grim sight. Realizing with a sinking feeling that she would have to follow this path. Eventually, she reached the top of the hill, her breath steadying as she looked ahead. There in the distance, she spotted the trolls. They were moving about, their presence a stark reminder of the threat they posed to Karanos and the surrounding lands. Mosiwa moved forward, her eyes set on her task. She subdued a few trolls quietly, her magic swift and precise. She pressed on, determination driving her forward. After turning a curve, she came upon the full settlement of the trolls. Some of them were engaged in a strange dancing ritual, their bodies swaying rhythmically as they chanted. Mosiwa did not wait. She started eliminating the trolls one by one, her spells striking with calculated accuracy. She moved with purpose, each troll falling in her path. However, as a priest, she felt a certain sorrow killing these creatures. After all, they did not pose much of a threat to the dwarves yet. But Mosiwa knew she could not question her orders. Maintaining a good relationship with the dwarves was crucial. With a heavy heart, she pressed on, finishing her work. The last of the trolls fell, and Mosiwa turned, running back towards Karanos, her mind clouded with conflicting emotions. Mosiwa reached Karanos, her body tired but her resolve intact. She approached Tharran.
I've dealt with the trolls, Tharran. Shimmer Ridge should be secure for now.
We should be able to focus our efforts on the rest of the trolls to the east, but there's still the matter of the Wendigos in the Grizzled Den.
Wendigos?
Aye, vicious beasts. The Wendigos in the Grizzled Den to the southwest of town have long been a thorn in our side. They're never quite strong enough to threaten Karanos directly, yet they prey on travelers, mountaineer patrols, and supply convoys.
That sounds serious. How can I assist you with this?
I'm going to be withdrawing my observers from the Grizzled Den because I need them on the troll front. Would you help my men finish culling the Wendigo population? Without strength of numbers, they won't be able to attack us.
I'll do it, Tharran. I'll head to the Grizzled Den and deal with the Wendigos.
The cataclysm drove the Trogs to the surface in hordes, forcing the Frostmane trolls to flee for their lives. Unfortunately, they've decided to settle right on our doorstep and make trouble for us. I deployed Mountaineer Dunstan and his squad to the Grizzled Den just southwest of town to keep an eye on the Wendigos that live there, but now I need to recall them to Karanos. Find them and tell them to deploy those remote observation bots the gnomes provided, then return to Karanos.
Understood, Tharran. I'll make sure they receive your orders and get the job done.
With the Frostmanes making trouble to our east, the Wendigos have sensed our weakness and grown bolder in their raids. Only one of the 4 most recent supply wagons has made it here safely. The Wendigos made off with the rest, stashing it in the Grizzled Den, a cave southwest of town. If you're willing to go down there and recover the stolen supplies, you would have the gratitude of all the townspeople and the mountaineers defending Karanos.
I'll do it, Glenna. I'll recover the stolen supplies and help the town.
Mosiwa ran southwest towards the Grizzled Den, her eyes sharp as she scanned for any sign of the Wendigos. On the way, she encountered several of them, their hulking forms emerging from behind the snow-covered trees. Without hesitation, she eliminated them, her magic swift and precise. Finally, she arrived at the Grizzled Den, her breath forming small clouds in the cold air. Right in front of the entrance, he spotted a supply crate. Mosiwa began collecting the supplies, her senses on high alert for any approaching Wendigos. As she worked, more of the creatures came charging at her, but she stood her ground, eliminating them one by one. The den was vast, with winding tunnels that twisted deeper into the mountain. Mosiwa ventured inside. The echoes of distant Wendigo growls reverberated through the stone walls. After a while, she noticed Mountaineer Dunstan ahead, standing guard.
Mountaineer Dunstan, Tharran has sent me to give you new orders.
Mosiwa, good to see you. What are the orders?
Tharran wants you and your squad to deploy the remote observation bots the gnomes provided, then return to Karanos.
Understood. We'll get right on it. Thanks for delivering the message, Mosiwa. And watch your back in here. These Wendigos are more dangerous than they look.
Will do, Dunstan. Stay safe.
Mosiwa made her way through the den, repeating Tharran's instructions to the other mountaineers she encountered. Once the orders were delivered, she focused on cleaning up the remaining Wendigos, her spells swift and efficient. With the den cleared and her task complete, she turned and ran back towards Karanos to report to Tharran and Glinna.
Tharran, I've dealt with the Wendigos in the Grizzled Den.
Now that you've dealt with the Wendigos, we should be able to focus our efforts on the Frostmane trolls to the east.
I've also spoken to Mountaineer Dunstan and the others, and they've deployed the observation bots as requested.
Thank you for your help, Mosiwa. Our forces are deployed thinly these days, and 3 Mountaineers could be the difference between defending Karanos and being overrun. Most of the Mountaineers and steam tanks in Dun Morogh are battling along the Frostmane front, which is approaching us from the southeast. We can barely hold the trolls back, let alone advance into their village and take on their leader. They've blocked our path of approach with mysterious totems that choke mountaineers who come in range, leaving the victims helpless against their enemies. This stone is inscribed with a rune of fire. It should be able to destroy the totems and free our mountaineers. I need you to head to the front and assist our forces, Mosiwa.
Understood, Tharran. I'll take care of the totems and help our mountaineers push forward. Quartermaster Glinna, I've recovered the supplies from the Grizzled Den.
Well done, Mosiwa. The mountaineers will be glad to hear that half rations are at an end. They'll need all their strength to continue fighting the Frostmanes.
Mosiwa traveled southeast towards the Frostmane front, the area where the mountaineers were fiercely engaging the trolls. From afar, she could already see the steam tanks positioned amidst the chaos. The battlefield was teeming with trolls, and the mountaineers were heavily engaged, struggling to hold their line.